Welcome back, Rainy Science students. We are learning today about Chapter 14, Section 1, the cardiovascular system. Say that 3 times fast. Also known as the circulatory system. So you should have read in your book pages 552 to 561, and you're adding to your notes all of the new topics that you're going to learn about today. So our essential question for these notes is, how does your heart pump blood throughout the body? And we take a look at this roadmap. Our circulatory system, or our cardiovascular system, works a lot like that roadmap, pumping blood throughout our body. So how does it do that? Well, there's some major important parts and functions of our cardiovascular system. It delivers needed materials to our body, things like oxygen and nutrients from the food that we eat that our body needs to stay alive. It also removes things that we don't need, waste products, for example, carbon dioxide that we breathe out. And it helps us to fight disease because it circulates our white blood cells and our antibodies that help fight and kill any germs that might get inside of our body. Next up is Mrs. Kim.
Okay, so here's your heart. As you know, that it is moved by your cardiac muscles, and it's about the size of your fist, located behind your sternum. If we cut the heart in half to see inside, you would see that there are 4 chambers. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 2 on the top are called right and left atrium, or atria, that's plural, and right and left ventricles. When blood enters the heart, it enters through the atria first. So whether it's the right one or the left one, then it gets pushed down to the ventricles, and then they leave the heart. The blood leaves the heart through the ventricles. In between the chambers are these little flaps. They're called valves. And once the blood goes through, they shut so that the blood doesn't go backwards the wrong way. Okay, so if you looked at your body, your lungs and heart work together, and it's a 2-loop system. First, blood enters through the right atrium, and it's low in oxygen because it just gave away most of the oxygen in the body. Then it goes down to the right ventricle, and then the heart will squeeze the blood out to the lungs, where they will pick up more oxygen and get rid of the carbon dioxide. Then it's going to come back to the heart, okay, to the left atrium. It's going to get pushed down to the left ventricle, and this chamber has the hardest job because it has to push the blood really hard out of the heart to all the different cells, all the different parts of your body. So your left side of the heart actually works harder than the right side. Your arteries are one of the 3 blood vessels, and arteries take blood away from the heart. So say it with me, arteries away. One more time, arteries away. They take blood away from the heart. And the arteries are very thick. They have thick walls because when the blood is pushed out of the heart, you don't want it to rupture. It has to be able to withstand the pressure of the heart pushing all the blood out. Here's Mr. Knox.
All right. It's October 13th, and the Cubs have just won. Actually, I'm hoping they win. They're going to play today in about 20 minutes. Anyway, Cubs have. Go Cubs. Capillaries. Capillaries are the things where materials get exchanged. They are blood vessels. They are the smallest of the blood vessels, and blood moves through capillaries extremely slowly. You can see the capillaries are in between the arteries and the veins. So the blood is traveling in this direction, and when it moves through these capillaries, they're very, very small, only allow 1 red blood cell at a time. This is where oxygen goes into the cell, carbon dioxide goes into the blood. Food goes in the cell, waste goes in the blood. This is where what's called diffusion takes place. And the best way I can explain diffusion is making things even. If you have too much oxygen on this side, not enough oxygen on this side, it evens things out. Okay, so if you think of diffusion as making things even, you're on the right track. So capillaries is where diffusion takes place. It's where all the oxygen, all the food gets exchanged into your body. Next, we have veins. So the three blood vessels are capillaries, we have arteries, and the last one is veins. Veins carry blood back to the heart. And after the blood has been slowed down by the capillaries, the blood also is very slow in the veins. So veins have what we call valves in them to prevent the blood from flowing backwards. As the blood moves forward toward the heart, with each beat, the heart pumps and all this blood gets pushed forward closer and closer to the heart. It wants to go backwards, but this vein stops it. So veins carry blood back to the heart. Veins are located on the outside of the body. The veins that you see when your dad gets really angry, those are veins. The nurse, when she pokes you in the arm right here, she pokes you in a vein. Veins are located on the outside of the body, and the reason is because as you flex your muscles, those muscles squish the veins, helping to push the blood back to the heart. So veins back to the body. Very low blood pressure in veins. Last, we have blood pressure. Blood pressure is caused by the beating of the heart. As the heart pumps, the blood gets forced out of the heart into your arteries. Now, the blood gets forced so violently that the artery wall has to expand to allow for that gush of blood. That pressure put on the artery wall is what we call blood pressure. And you measure blood pressure through this device right here. And you guys do not want high blood pressure. Things that cause high blood pressure is cholesterol, eating poorly, which leads to cholesterol. And what happens is it clogs your veins. So blood pressure is the force that the blood is pressed on the walls of your blood vessels. Too much force puts on the blood vessel, it might break, and there's some serious problems with that. So, thank you for watching. Go Cubs. I know by this time they're in the World Series. Thank you. Have a good day.